Hello everybody and welcome to the PestForce webinar. In this webinar I'm going to answer the question, what's it all about, Paul? My name is Paul Smith. I'm the commercial director of PestForce, one of the owners, and we're going to be covering a number of topics. I'll tell you a bit about the history of PestForce so you know where we've come from. I'm going to give you some idea of how PestForce works, because pretty much that's what you're all here to find out. And as part of helping you to understand what it involves, I'll mention induction and training, the importance of sales and marketing in building and making your business valuable and creating wealth for yourself, how you run it, a bit about the day in the life of a PestForce franchisee, and we'll cover some case studies of recent franchisees towards the end. We've got 30 minutes for this webinar, so I hope you'll all stay tuned and stay to the end, because if you stay tuned, there is an offer at the end of the webinar regarding the PestForce franchise. So, by the end of the webinar, you should be able to better understand the business and the business model, what it could be like to be a franchisee, how you can build your business, high-level financials and what the business looks like from a financial point of view, and how we support you in the building of your business, if this could be for you, and what do you need to do next or not if you don't want to proceed. And just to let you know, that's absolutely fine. We don't mind if you don't proceed. If this isn't for you, we absolutely understand. It isn't for everybody, and better for you to understand that and know that now, rather than make an expensive mistake that you might regret later down the line. And that's part of what we're here to do today. So this is all part of a process, and having a process is a good thing. It means that you know and we know what to expect as you're going through the discussions with us. And you can see there we have 9 steps in our process. Somehow I managed to turn my microphone off. So just to recap on a couple of things, I just noticed my microphone was off. We do have a process, and it's a 9-step process. Early days at this stage, with an information pack downloaded and the opportunity to have a chat with Gail on the telephone to find out a bit more information, but very much using this webinar as an opportunity for you to understand a bit more about what is involved, so you're better armed for that telephone discussion and before you potentially come and meet us at Henley-on-Thames, which is our head office. So PestForce, who and what are we? We've been a franchise for 9 years, and we're proud to say that we are one of the largest independent pest control businesses in the UK. Obviously not on the scale of a Rentokil or an Ecolab, but we are 56 franchisees. We've got some franchisees who have employees as well, so we've got about 62 technicians out on the road under the PestForce banner. There are areas still available And if you haven't already checked with those, you can go to pestforcefranchise.co.uk and we'll check that for you, depending on where you live. We do like technicians to live in the areas they work in. Just makes things so much more straightforward for everybody. And we have a head office here with finance support, technical support. We have franchisee management support, if you like, for want of a better word, and business, sales and marketing support. So we've got a good head office structure to help you both technically in terms of actually delivering the pest control service and also making sure that you can run your business in as efficient and effective a way as possible. We are accredited by the British Franchise Association, which is important for you to know. If I were at your end of the webinar, I'd definitely be doing my due diligence to know that somebody was accredited by the British Franchise Association. And what that means is that we believe in ethical franchising. We're not in the process of just setting a franchise up, taking people's money and disappearing. We're here for the long haul, and that's something that I would hope you would find a bit of a comfort. Myself and the other owner, Sean Taylor, we've been in franchising for 7 years, so you can see it's not something that we've just decided to do on a bit of a whim. It is our life, and we get a great deal of enjoyment from helping our franchisees to build their businesses. We get an assessment from the Franchise Association, and our franchise agreement has been checked to make sure it's fair and to make sure it's a reasonable contract between us and franchisees that come into our business. And if you haven't already, I suggest you check out the British Franchise Association website, which is bfa.org.uk. And on there, you'll find a whole heap of good resources that will help you to understand a bit more about franchising, a bit more about what's involved, and we'll give you some questions that you might want to ask a potential franchise or including us. So there are 50 questions, I think. Not all of them are applicable to our franchise because they talk about where the site's positioned, what shop leases we're going to have. And obviously that's not something that we get involved in. But a good proportion of the questions are very important. So have a look through. And if you do come to a one-to-one, pick some of those questions that particularly answer any worries that you might have and make sure that you ask us before we move forward. Okay, just to give you an idea about the pest control industry, it's a big industry. It's over 350 million, and it is growing about 6% a year, so 20 or 25 million per year in increased spend across the UK. The British Pest Control Association has identified 35% of councils, and this is 2 years ago, so it's probably even more now, do not currently have an in-house pest control service. And what does that mean? Well, that means that the option for customers to go to the council and get a free or cheap service is reducing. And that's mostly down to budget cuts and easy savings to be had in service delivery as council tax gets squeezed. And of those 35% of councils that do have an in-house service, only 1 in 16, so about 2% of the whole of the UK councils, still offer free treatments. So as you can see, that helps us to define our market and to be sure that the pest control business is going to be around for some time to come. And we also have some changes in behaviour that's driving how the pest control industry is growing. Some of those cuts have also gone into bin collections, and if you're anything like the South Oxfordshire District Council where we are, we get our general waste collected once a fortnight, and every other week we get our recycling collected. So there's plenty of opportunity for rodents in particular And at this time of year, for insects to get involved in feeding off the rubbish, if the bin isn't particularly well sealed, or if there's spillover from the bin into the open areas. And also second-hand furniture, so bed bugs, fleas, horrible little things, but they get transmitted between people by you who use second-hand furniture, who may buy it or sell it on Gumtree or something similar. And that's increasing the incidence. Homes of multiple occupation, particularly in large cities. We know that accommodation is expensive. So getting into houses of multiple occupation, bed bugs and fleas proliferate and spread even easier than normal. And so that all helps to add to the business opportunity. And of that, a third of our franchisees turn over more than 50,000 per annum. Again, this isn't this year's figures. This is 2014 figures. We haven't collated the 2015 figures yet because not everybody's had their tax returns done. So that's probably increased since then. And I know 2 of the new franchisees that have joined us in that time are already earning significantly more than that, turning over significantly more than that number. It's a mixture of contract and job work, so the repeating, repetitive, consistent contract work, and the one-off job work, which adds the sort of cream on the top of the cake into the turnover pot. Somebody's going to ask me what the gross profit percentage is, and it's around about 45%. That's a sort of very broad brush figure, but it's pretty accurate as an average across the board for our franchisees. And when we write your business plans, these are the kind of numbers we're working on: 35 to 40k in year 1, 40 to 50k, obviously towards the far end, towards 50k as much as possible in year 2, and beyond that, then really that's down to you to determine what your earning requirement is, what you want to earn out of the business, and we'll work with you to make sure your business plan fits that and to help you manage your business to deliver that business plan. And it's not just a plan that we put together and put in the drawer. It gets referred to during the franchisee reviews, which are at least annual once you're an established franchisee, and new franchisees get 2 reviews in the first year, one after 3 months, one after 6 months, and then the standard review after 12 months. So we're always making sure that franchisees are working towards their business plan figures. Your fixed costs are pretty low. The major ones being you need a van, you need to put some fuel in the van, and you need to put some product into your van to do your treatment. So as you can see there, your fixed costs pretty much is your van and your own wages. So fixed costs are low in this business, which is a good thing, obviously. You build your business through various types of customers, and we're delivering local service by a local business owner, and we very much play on that local business owner delivering a great service. You want repeat business, you want great testimonials, you want to be able to build your business through reputation and through referrals. And so who better to deliver a great service than the business owner themselves? And these are typical contract customers, and contract customers also deliver job work. There's also letting agents. They're a great source of opportunity for us. And we also have national customers who we go out and win on your behalf, and then you deliver the service on our behalf, if you like. So it's very much a local business, but also with local delivery and national standards. So there's a consistency, and certainly our national account customers very much appreciate the consistency of delivery, the consistency of the paperwork, and the consistency of the type of franchisee technician that comes to see them and delivers that great personable service. There's competition though, and plenty of it. I won't lie to you, but there's competition in all walks of life. Even Google has competition, so it's not something to be feared, and it's not something that you need to be 10 times better than competition. The little things make a difference to make you stand out from the competition. We've got very much the big boys in the Rentokils, Ecolabs, Mighty Pest Control, and one or two other of the big companies. We've got the aspiring sort of regional companies, which is kind of where we fit in. So we're in between the big boys, but we're not a one-man band. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to distinguish ourselves from the sort of faceless front of the big boys. But although you're a business owner delivering a service effectively on your own, you're definitely not a one-man band. You're part of the Pestforce business. You're a British Pest Control Association member by virtue of that. And you've got all the great training, great technical support, paperwork, ops systems, and the like that, and insurance, public liability insurance that really mark you out from the one-man band. But we are able to deliver a friendly and personable service, which a lot of the big boys can't do. And obviously that opens up a whole lot of opportunities for us by distinguishing us from the herd. And being a Pestforce franchisee, you've got to be capable and you've got to want to deliver great customer service. I said that a little bit earlier on. The bedrock of our business is great customer service. We want referrals, we want testimonials, we want to get customers through great service and through somebody giving us a great write-up. Nobody goes to a hotel these days without looking at TripAdvisor, and we've got a very similar system on our marketing, which gives customers a peace of mind of feedback that we've had from previous customers, and hopefully gives us one of those small edges that I mentioned over some of the other companies that we're competing with. You've got to be able to plan your own diary. This isn't a job. You're not buying a job, and so obviously you've got to be able to work your own diary, planning your visits, planning your marketing, planning all the things that you've got to do to make your business work. Nobody's going to sit on your shoulder, although I will be reviewing and calling you relatively frequently in the early days to make sure things are going well and we're doing the things that we need to do to make our business run. But I can't be sitting on your shoulder day in, day out, making sure that you're doing the things that need to be done in your diary to make your business work. That is down to you, and that's down to your drive and determination to make your business work. You've got to market your business. We're going to do our bit, and we do a lot of marketing, which I'll come on to in a short while. But it's not just down to you, and it's not just down to us. It's definitely a partnership, and we work together to make your business as visible and as attractive as possible, so that you can get as many customers as we can get in. Obviously, customers means money, and money means your business is going in the right direction. You've got to want to deal with the public. Not everybody does, and if you're one of these people that gets frustrated by stupid people, and let's be honest, the public can be stupid, they can be unreasonable, and they can be downright rude, but at the end of the day, they're our customers, and you've got to be able to deal with that. You've got to take the rough with the smooth a little bit, and still deliver a great service with a smile on your face, even if you actually want to throttle the customer. The great British public are quite unpredictable, but they are definitely your customer and pay your bills. You've got to also be able to deal on a one-to-one level with other business owners and employees of larger businesses who could business-to-business transactions will come from. So I'm thinking here of letting agents, I'm thinking of facilities managers of large sites, I'm thinking of shop owners, bar owners, those kind of people. So it's a mix and match of both. Deal with the public because we do work obviously in people's properties, but also dealing with the business owners and employees in our contract work, in our larger opportunities. If you're not one to follow the rules, then this isn't an opportunity for you. The pest control industry is becoming increasingly under the spotlight from the health and safety sector, the health and safety executive, sorry. And so following the rules, doing all the paperwork, following the labels and the legislation for the preparations and treatments you're going to be doing is very important. Obviously, following our guidelines is also pretty important, because we've got lots of successful franchisees, and the ones that take some time to become successful are typically the ones that don't do the things that they need to do to market their business. Not one of our franchisees or former franchisees has been unable to do the technical bit, the delivery of the pest control service, but for some, the sales and marketing comes easier than to others, and that's the difficult bit. And stepping out of your comfort zone is something that you will have to do to make your business work. When you're off and running, you don't need an office, and you don't need to sit at home waiting for the phone to ring. What you do need to do is follow the planning and the guidance that we give you. Be a sponge for learning. It's a sector where there's constantly things to learn, new stuff. You need determination. If you're the kind of person that gets sort of knocked back and loses heart at the first knockback, then being a business owner probably isn't for you, because it's not all easy sort of roses and chocolates. You've got to obviously have a desire to succeed. It's unlikely that you'd be sitting here at 10 to 7 on a summer's evening if you didn't have a desire to succeed and want to make something of a business for yourself. So you're probably halfway there already. And you probably need to be able to work outside of your comfort levels, as I mentioned earlier. If you don't like asking people for money, if you don't like asking for the business, if you can't strike up a conversation at a networking event, you're going to find it difficult to sell and market your business. Some a few guys who have recently become Pestforce franchisees. I'll let them speak for themselves. And we haven't made those up. Those are real testimonials from our franchisees. And I think they sum up a lot of what being a Pestforce franchisee is about. Varied aspects of the job, decent amounts of turnover in the first 3 months, opportunities for growth and expansion, enjoyment. You know, this is a job that's varied. No 2 days are the same, and it's very enjoyable. You're meeting lots of different people. You're doing lots of important things for public health to eliminate distress, damage, or disease caused by pests, and it's satisfying. And you know, if you're the kind of person that gets satisfaction from that kind of thing, then maybe this is for you. In terms of the training, we like to make sure that we're constantly updating the training. You know, we don't think we've got training hacked. We listen to the feedback. We take feedback from every training session, and we have 4 per year or training intakes for our franchisees. And we're always looking to improve and increase the sort of takeaways that our guys get from the training. It is 3 weeks, so there's a lot to learn, but it's also we try and make it fun as well. In terms of building a business, you know, a solid business is one that has repeatable income. You know, what we want to do is have a system where we've got a decent number of contracts, so that, let's say on the 1st of January, you wake up and think, oh, I've got £25,000 worth of contracts this year. And that really is a great basis on which to start building your business. You're paying your bills, you're paying your wages with that. The job work's going to come in over the top of that. And really you're starting to build some wealth, because those contracts, as long as they're serviced and continue with you, have a value. As I say, you add to it job work, and you can open doors. Job work can become contracts. You've got to be tenacious in getting and keeping your customers, because again, that's the value in your business. And we want to be targeted and specific. We're not necessarily wanting to work with everybody. And you'll know once you've been in the business for a wee while who you want to work with and who you don't. That's very important. As I've said it 3 or 4 times already, make someone talk about your business and get new referrals. I said earlier, we do a lot of marketing. We do a lot of digital, email marketing, pay-per-click marketing on Google. We've got a significant number of our web pages on page 1 of Google for the relevant searches for pest control services. And we're starting to introduce other things into our armory in terms of good old-fashioned letters and cards. They don't underestimate the power of receiving, or a customer receiving, direct mail in the post. Something that doesn't look like a bill, tends to get opened, and people get quite excited about it. But none of that's any good unless you track and measure it. Marketing is definitely a science more than it ever was, and being able to track, measure, and understand where your money is best spent is something we do very well here at Pestforce head office, to make sure that we are spending marketing money in the right place to get the right effects. Quite often I'm asked, can I earn a good living? Do you get me all the work, and can you guarantee me turnover? Well, in order, the answer to those questions is yes, you can earn a very good living. And when the time is right, you need to talk to our franchisees about that. Don't just take my word for it. I guess the fact that we're continuing to grow and franchisees are continuing to earn good money is testament to the success of the system. We don't get you all the work. We certainly help you to get work. But a lot of that, as I talked about earlier on, is the partnership part of it. There's a significant amount of work that you want to do, and that's what sets out the difference between doing a job and building a business. You've got to build a business with blood, sweat, and tears. Some of that will be ours as well, but you've got to do the hard yards to get the success. It won't come easy, and it won't come overnight. And we can't guarantee turnover, but we can certainly guarantee that we'll put our best efforts into making sure you meet your business plan. And it is just that partnership with shared success. And, for me, having a franchisee who's doing really well is very important, not only because I want you to do well, and obviously we earn money here at the centre from your success, but, I want to be able to point new franchisees to you and say, look, tell Fred about your experience with Pestforce, and I want that experience to be a very positive and very uplifting story to tell potential new franchisees. So that's a real driver for us to help you build your business. And of course, I also get asked, why can't I start on my own? Well, you can, no problem at all. Just remember, there's a lot to do. We've got a lot of experience, and whilst I've got no doubt people will be successful and have been successful and will continue to be successful starting on their own, then it's not for everybody. And that's why the franchise model works for a lot of people, because of the things that we can do and we know how to do that help to accelerate the process of building a business for you. It's 3 weeks long, the training that is, and it's a mix of theory and practical, including on-the-job training. Technical, so pretty much half and half technical training and half business training, with a significant number of time out in the field with a current franchisee or one of our technical guys. We get help from our suppliers delivering some of it, and beyond the initial training, there's also specialist training in other areas to add opportunity for you to earn money. Obviously, you've got to get stuck in. It's the first week in particular is hard going, but it's there for a reason, to make sure that you're ready to go as soon as you finish training. Obviously, we've got a lot of experience in the network, so we do lean on that as well in our to deliver our training. And I think I've already mentioned the supplier support. What do I get is often something that prospective franchisees ask me. And our support to our franchisees is constantly developing. We've got a franchisee support desk, which is there to help with the delivery of your business. Myriad of things that get asked to that desk, but if you come to a one-to-one, we'll explain how that works in a little bit more detail. But you get all of this stuff from us, decent equipment and stock starter pack, which should, in terms of stock, the products, rodenticides and insecticides, should certainly see you through your first 3 months. We make sure that you are RSPH level 2 qualified. It's typically about 9 months after you start with us, because it's not the kind of qualification you can do on day one. You need some experience. And big things like public liability insurance, and as I said earlier on, some of the tracking events for marketing, to make sure that we can track, monitor and manage the marketing, so we know what we're spending, how effective it is, and where we should spend more on marketing. It's great. You get a Galaxy Tab. One of the systems we use to support our business runs on a tab, and that's part of the induction process. We're just in the process of getting it onto Apple as well. So with a bit of luck, we'll have that before the next training intake. You also get a whole load of paperwork to make sure you can run your business both correctly and legally, and all the folders and systems and processes, risk assessments and method statements that you need to deliver treatments are all there for you to lean on as part of a franchise system, which is what you'd expect. That's what you're buying into. These are all the things that you have to do during your typical day. You're going to be marketing your business. You're going to be selling and then delivering operations, the actual doing. During that, you're going to make sure you're health and safety compliant. Your customer care has got to be top notch, so that you can feed that back into marketing your business with your referrals and your testimonials. And obviously, there's always a bit of finance and HR. We want to try and make sure that you are getting paid by your customers. We help with that in terms of getting paid as you work, rather than having to wait to get paid. Cash flow being a problem for small businesses. We understand how important that is, to make sure that you're getting your cash in a very timely way. And if you grow bigger, like some of the guys have, you'll have the HR thing, employees and tax and all the things that go with it. Nothing to be scared of. We've got all the experience here to help you with that, and we'll work through that with you. So we do a business plan before you start, and that will give us what's known as a working capital requirement. So that tells us how much you will need to have in the pot, if you like, in the bank, to keep you going whilst you're building up your business, so that you can continue to pay your mortgage, pay your bills, pay all the things that you need to be able to do as your business is growing. And that is an individual thing, because not everybody needs the same amount. Nobody's got typically the same size of mortgage as anybody else. So that's a very individual thing, that working capital and business requirement. There is bad news, I'm afraid. There is a franchise fee, but that is covering the things that I talked about before in the support, and obviously the territory is part of that, and it's a defined territory, which means you'll be the only Pestforce franchisee working in that territory. Jobs that come into head office are given out on postcode systems, so you get the jobs that come in relative to your postcode area by automatically, if they come through head office, or obviously they could come straight to you as well. It is a 5-year franchise agreement, which is renewable, and no, we don't charge another $16,500 at the end of the 5 years. We try and find your franchise agreement, which will be in a drawer somewhere, gathering dust, and we blow it off. We say, have you had a good time as a franchisee in the first 5 years? You say yes or no. We say, do we think you're the kind of franchisee we want to continue to work with? We'll say yes or no, typically yes. And then we sign another franchise agreement. That's all there is to it. And I think I've mentioned that already. And what we're trying to do, obviously, is make sure that you've got growth plans and growth aspirations as part of your business planning. You know, nobody wants to be earning the same in 3 years' time as they're earning today. So what do we need to do to get your business to the figure that you want it to be, to fit the lifestyle that you want to live, and create the wealth for you and your family that you've got in your mind? I was going to talk about 4 case studies, but I'm mindful of the time. We started a minute or so late. Gary O'Connor very quickly joined us about this time last year. He had an amazing summer last year and has enjoyed it so much that he's bought a second franchise, and he's going to bring his son into the business, which is great. A great endorsement for us. He's definitely one of the franchisees that later on in the process, if you want to get an idea of how well it can work for somebody who was already a pest controller but wasn't really building a business, then Gary's a great role model to talk to. Michael came from a completely unrelated industry. He only started a few months ago. He had a quiet first couple of months, but we've worked with him to understand what that meant. He's worked very hard to deliver some changes and some innovations in his business, in his marketing, and things are really on the up for him now, which is great. Sean Banks, he bought the West London postcode about 18 months ago, and he's one of the 2 franchisees that I mentioned who's already earning turning over well over 80,000. It took Sean about 3 months to realise he needed an employee, so he's already got an employee. He's now bought a second territory, and he's looking for his second employee. So just to show that although it will start as an owner-operator business, it can very much become a management franchise if that's the thing that floats your boat and really makes you sit up and go, wow, this can work for me. And Barry Roberts, he bought a resale, first major resale that we managed to complete on in our time. He's been with us about 7 or 8 months as well. And I caught up with Barry the other day, and he's pretty much 50% up on his business plan, as far as I recall. They're going great guns, and they are also looking at what they need to do to get an employee on board, because they're just so busy at the moment that they've got that opportunity to grow their business already. So just to sum up, pest control not going away, and in fact, as you can see from the figures I mentioned earlier on, it's growing. It is an operational franchise, but as I just mentioned in a couple of the case studies there, it can get bigger and it can become a management franchise and earn good money from you not having to go out if you don't want to. I have to say that most of our guys love the interaction with the customers, so even if they were growing to that management status, that wouldn't stop them actually doing the do, if you like, and delivering pest control services themselves. Mix of recurring monthly revenue and job work is the secret to building a successful business that will increase your wealth and give you the opportunity to continue to grow. And it is a people business. People buy people. It's an old bit of an old cliche, but it is true. You want to do business with people that you like, and if you don't like people, then owning your own business probably isn't for you. And that's something to really think about, because people, as I said earlier on, can be irritating, rude, and annoying, but they are people and they are your customers. We want to get the basics right in our training. We want to send you out with the brilliant basics, ready to deliver services to your customers and our customers. And we've just sent out a new batch of franchisees, and we've been on the phone to them almost every day in the last 2 weeks, because that's what we do. We want to support. We're here to support. We're here to guide. We don't know all the answers, but business can be a lonely place. So having somebody to talk to, having somebody to bounce ideas off, and having somebody to work with is very much part of the franchisee idea. And have not just us at head office, other franchisees in the network who have got long-standing experience in the business will also help you to develop and grow your business. You're not buying a job. I said earlier on, you're building a business, and that, those two things are slightly different. People with a job turn off at 5 o'clock, 5:30, or whatever it is. The business owner rarely turns off and needs to be thinking about their business pretty much all the time. And are you right for the business, and is the business right for you? Why are you looking at franchising? What's the fear that you have about coming into Pest Control that franchising is going to solve for you? It's not just about the money. There is a whole lot of lifestyle reasons for owning your own business. It's about the decisions you can make when you can go to work, when you don't go to work. I've been self-employed now for nigh on 10 years, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It suits me down to the ground. It means I don't miss any nativities. It means I don't miss any school plays or sports days or anything like that. And that really fits into my life and my lifestyle perfectly. And you've got to enjoy what you do. You've got to be able to get up in the morning wanting to go out and do this stuff. And even the sort of mundane bits, the bits that you don't really want to do, it's all part and parcel of it. So you've got to find a way to be positive about it and enjoy it. Is it right for you? It's not right for everybody. I said that very early on in the webinar. So make sure that you and your family, involve your family in your discussions, because it's a question we'll ask you if you come and see us. What does your family think about it? What does your wife think about it? What does your partner think about it? And what are their fears as much as your own? Ask the right questions. I pointed you to the BFA website earlier on. Use that as the starting point for your research. And, I like to think I was pretty much in your situation 10 years ago. Didn't know what it was going to be like. Didn't know if it was going to work for me. But I had a vision. I had some determination. And at the end of the day, I just jumped off the cliff and did it. And if you're getting to that point and this is right for you, then we'd like to see you and speak to you. It might be that franchising is right for you, but the Pest Control franchise and Pest Force isn't. So think about that. If I've done nothing else tonight, maybe I've opened your mind up to what it's like to run your own business. If you've got any questions and I didn't answer them during the last 40 minutes, then please drop Gail an email and she will get back to you. There's the email address there, gail@pestforce.co.uk. We talked about what next. Well, what is next? Well, if you want to know a bit more about it, you've read the prospectus, you've listened to me for the last 40 minutes, and you're still interested, give Gail a call. Her number will be on the bottom of any emails you've got from her. If it's not for you, absolutely fine, but just let us know so we can take you off the list, and you can get on with whatever else it is you want to be doing. And I do mean that. We won't be offended if it's not for you, because we know it's not for everybody. I said at the early onset of the webinar that there'd be an offer, and this is it. If you book a one-to-one with us after being on the webinar, you'll get a £1,000 reduction in the franchise fee if you then subsequently join us. So instead of 16,500, it'll be 15,500 plus VAT. But I'm afraid we've only got 3 of those offers, so you'll need to act fast if you want to be one of the 3. Book your one-to-one with Gail, give her a call, drop her an email, and hopefully we'll be seeing you pretty soon to see if this really could be for you. I'll just wrap up now by thanking you for your attention, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.